Hey viewers, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we will dive deep into the heated and rapidly evolving story shaking up global business, international politics, and small entrepreneurs across the globe. From the escalating U.S. China tariff tension to Temu halting direct shipments from China and the devastating fallout it's having on everyday business owners. This isn't just headlines, folks. This is real impact. You are about to hear a range of unfiltered opinions, some sharp, some emotional, and some brutal honest about how these trade policy are hitting the ground level. We will look beyond the political echo chamber of Fox News and CNN, explore what Chinese officials are really saying, and hear first-hand stories from small business owners now forced to rethink their futures overnight. And finally, we ask the question: in a world where global supply chains were weaponized, who is really winning and who is being left behind? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into it.
Okay, we have breaking news coming out of the world of business right now. Temu is halting shipping directly from China as the tariff loophole is cut off. Now, what is this all about? Temu, I'm looking at my notes right here. Temu has said it stopped shipping products from China directly to U.S. shoppers. That is, it confronts higher tariffs at the end of the de minimis provision. Now, what is that? Items shipped directly from China, which previously blanketed the site, are now labeled as out of stock. Have any of you seen this? Earlier this week, Temu increased prices and added import charges ranging from 130% to 150% on products shipped direct from China. So I would like to know if any of you are dealing with this right now. Have you seen this? How will this impact you when it comes to shopping or your business or anything? I know it could impact a lot of people. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. My name is Dave Bondi. We're keeping it real.
Tariff update. So today is the day that Donald Trump has officially screwed my business. I have had to deactivate my ability to ship to America, who is anywhere from 75 to 90% of my business, on 2 of my Etsy shops. Because the bulk of my materials come from China, I have no ability to say made in Canada, even though I do all the work here in customizing and assembling, engraving, whatnot. So for an Etsy store that has to hand make their products, which I do, I have to put made in China on the label in order to send to them. And then not only that, the customers from America will be hit with a 145% tariff. That means if they spend $15 on one of my necklaces, they're going to spend $21.75 to pay the tariff on top of that. This is going to devastate so many businesses. Almost all, base metals and steel for jewelry making and various other things as well come from China. That's where you get it. I don't know where else you get it, because here's the thing. You could buy it from suppliers in the U.S., in Canada, whatever, but where do they get it? And that's what the government cares about, the country of origin. So today's a hard day. I had really gotten my business moving in the last 6 months. It had been really going well. And now, because most of my sales come from the US, I don't know. Unless he changes his mind like he sometimes does, I have to rethink my career.
If you read Chinese newspapers, you're going to get a whole different response about tariffs compared to what Fox News and CNN gives us. According to a Chinese official in Beijing, China has noted the repeated statements from senior U.S. officials expressing their willingness to negotiate with China on tariff issues. It goes on to say that China's position has been consistent and clear, and we will fight to the end if forced to, but our door remains open for talks. The reality of the situation is that both countries are willing to negotiate, but both countries are not willing to be the first country to initiate the conversation, because that shows weakness, and both countries don't want to do that. Regardless what Fox News or CNN says, that's the reality of the situation. It's not Democrat versus Republican. Why are the Democrats cheering for the Chinese regime Communist Party anyway? It's almost like they're relating to that party instead of America, the home of the free, land of the brave. Whatever. In the process, stay away from Fox News and CNN. Maybe do your own research. Maybe study what other countries are saying, especially China in this situation.
He's actually doing the things that he promised that he would do. And Mr. President, it's been an honor to be part of it for the past 100 days.
Mr. President, the last 4 years, the world experienced a total lack of zero leadership under Biden. And then we had 100 days of your leadership with respect, with strength.
President, your first 100 days has far exceeded that of any other presidency in this country. Ever. Ever. Never seen anything like it. Thank you.
President Trump, in your first term when I had a chance to work you as governor, you were courageous. The thing that's empowering this amazing group of people around this table, and you've probably assembled the greatest cabinet ever, is that this time you're not just courageous, you're actually fearless.
Hey, MAGA, serious question here. Are you okay with all of this ass kissery? I mean, if this were your own boss at your workplace forcing you to kiss his ass publicly, wouldn't you be then humiliated? Or is that what you all commonly do with your own bosses at work? Is this your type of DEI? I mean, can you imagine all of this ass kissery was directed at President Obama during one of his cabinet meetings? What the fuck would you have said then, huh? You are truly in a fucking cult. Stay woke, mi gente. Got it.
So Donald Trump Jr. is going to open up his own club in D.C. It costs you about $1 million or so to join. And you'll get to sit with people from the White House and eat dinner. I've never in my life seen a fucking family try to grift this goddamn country more than this fucking pathetic stench ass Trump family. I mean, they just never fucking stop. They will grift anybody, by the way. This is his son opening this up now. You know, the one that ripped St. Jude's Hospital off. Those people. This is why he wanted to become president. To grift America. Like he's doing with his fucking tariffs. Up and down, buy, sell, buy, sell. This whole thing is a gimmick. And he ripped this country off the first time he was in the White House while he told people he wasn't collecting a salary. Billions, folks. Billions. And now he's going to open up his own club so people can sit with Hegseth and what, get drunk? I could, when I see pictures of his son, I swear to God on my life, I want to fucking throw up. I can almost vomit. They are the scum of the earth, those two. Along with their father, of course. But those two are as worthless as you will ever find on this earth. And now he's going to open up his own club in D.C. $1 million to join. You couldn't give me $1 million to sit with you motherfuckers. They just make me sick.
You won't believe what China just did to President Trump. Let's get into it. China isn't out of hot waters by any means, but China being China, they never play by anyone's rules. Okay, China has just stepped up their game with a brand new slogan. China is now offering easier access into their country. They are saying, we welcome more foreign friends to visit China and enjoy their stay. The upgraded tax refund policy will make shopping in China more enjoyable. We hope that high quality and reasonable price made in China products can find their way into more households and bring benefits to more people. Now here are some of the rules when visiting China.
China is waiting for you. The NIA has decided to further relax and optimize.
Is your China your next vacation destination? Pay attention.
Key point. Firstly, extended stay duration. The stay duration for foreign nationals eligible for visa-free transit has been extended from the previous 72 hours and 144 hours to 240 hours. Wow. 10 days, you will have more time to explore China. Secondly, expanded list of ports. The total number of ports eligible for the policy has increased from 39 to 60.
Amazing!
If necessary.
But wait, here's the best part, okay? Not only China is giving you easier access to their country, they are doing one of the most hysterical things. They are trolling our press secretary, and it's hilarious.
Percent tariffs on Mexico, 25% tariffs on Canada, and a 10% tariff on China.
Okay, first of all, thank you for spending $800 to support a made in China product. But I do need to give you a friendly reminder.
It's
If tariffs
hysterical.
continue, your next dress might be even more expensive. But
It
here's
is.
the good news. China now offers a 30% tax refund on all purchases made in the country. Yes,
Oh.
all products.
Made in
Immediately
China.
cashback. And the U.S. citizens
Let's not
now can
forget
enter
the
China
$1,500
with
plane
visa
ticket to
for
get there, round trip.
240 hours. No applications, no waiting. Just count. A shirt that costs you $40 in the U.S. may only cost you $8 in China. Same stitching, same fabric, better price. So we sincerely invite you to come and shop in China.
Last but not least, their new slogan, guess what it is? You guys want to guess? Their new slogan is Make China Great Again. It's hysterical.
Happy Saturday, guys. How y'all doing? It's Saturday, so it's a good day, right? Any of you guys got that friend that everybody, kind of mutually knows, and there's this kind of there is this mutual warning about messing with that person? You know how you say, it's that friend. Everybody got that friend that said, "Mine, don't mess with him. Don't mess with him." Or, "Dude, that ain't what you want. Trust me. Don't wake that up." You know that friend? That's China. China is that friend somebody should have warned Trump about. China, that friend somebody should have said, "Dude, that ain't what you want." Y'all know China. Trump been blowing China up. Trump been blowing China phone up. And if they answer, when they have answered, it's been reported that they putting Trump on hold and playing Obama speeches. Yeah. China been putting Trump on hold and playing Obama speeches. China, that friend. China, that friend that he should have been warned about. That he should have been forewarned about. They put the man on hold. And from what has been reported, he blowing their phone up in double-digit figure times a day. Double-digit figures now. He blowing their phone up. And if they answer, they put him on hold and they play Obama speeches. China, my kind of people. They're my kind because they weren't messing with us. We were getting our crap, we were getting our stuff, we were cool. China really wasn't messing with us. When a bully get his just desserts, whoever dishing that bully his just desserts, you gonna get you alright with me? You gonna get that. So, I'm trying to keep it together. I promise. But China's that one that said, "You go low, we'll meet you below." Okay. Y'all have a good one. I ain't gonna even ask the question.
So let's not sugarcoat it. What we are witnessing with the current tariff war between the United States and China is far more than a diplomatic chess match. It's not just about politics, it's about real lives, real businesses, and real consequences. Whether you are getting your news from Fox, CNN, or Chinese state media, the narratives are widely different, but somewhere in the middle lies a truth that's affecting millions. Let's start with the basic facts. Temu, one of the fastest growing e-commerce platform, has officially stopped shipping products directly from China to U.S customers. Why? Because the de minimis provision, which once allowed products under 800 to bypass tariffs, has been effectively shut down. That is huge. It means the cost benefit appeal that made Temu so competitive, cheap, fast, direct to consumers goods is evaporating overnight. If you have checked the app recently, you will notice a lot of items marked out of stock. That is not a supply chain glitch, that is policy in action. This is what happens when trade policy changes are applied like a hammer without accounting for ripple effects, and the ripple is becoming a wave. Now let's talk about the people who are getting hit the hardest. Small business owners, I'm talking about ETSY sellers, Shopify entrepreneurs, jewelry makers, crafters, tech resellers, people who hasn't just pushing products for fun but actually building livelihoods. One seller shared how they had to shut off sales to the US, which accounted for up to 90% of their customer base, because the origin of their raw materials was China, even though they handcrafted everything in Canada. It doesn't matter, that made in China label on the components triggered up to a 145 tariff. Let me break that down. If you're a customer buying a $15 necklace, you are now paying over $21 more just in tariffs. That is not a makeup, that is not shipping, that is a punishment handed to the customer and indirectly to the seller. This seller isn't a mega corporation that can eat the cost. This is someone who spent months building their store, finally gained traction, and now has to consider walking away because policymakers are playing global poker. And here's the uncomfortable truth. A lot of these materials, steel, base metals, moods, fasteners, hasn't easily sourced anywhere else. Sure, you can buy them from a local distributors, but guess where they get them? That is right, China. Because it's not just about where the product is assembled or engraved, it's about the origin of every single part, and that origin determines the tariff rate. So yes, this hits hard, it's not hypothetical anymore. Now let's address the politics, and this is where it gets messy. You have got media on both ends of the spectrum spinning this like a partial football. Fox News says it's strength, CNN calls it reckless. Meanwhile, Chinese state outlets highlight American inconsistency and Project Calm resistance. But if you read closely, you will see both China and the US are saying the same thing behind closed doors. We are open to negotiation, but we won't make the first move. Why? Because in the world of high-stakes diplomacy, initiating talks is seen as weakness. No one wants to look like they are begging for a deal. That is not negotiation, that is optics. And unfortunately, why the posture and weight, small businesses, consumers and supply chains are the ones taking the hit. But let's take a step back and ask the question no one seems to want to ask. Who benefits from this chaos? Big corporations maybe, some can pivot, some have domestic manufacturing, but even feel the bond costs go up, margins get tight, investors get skittish, governments possibilities bring revenue, they signal strength, they play well in political speeches, but they also provoke retaliation. And when China hits back, and make no mistake, it creates another loop of economic pain. Meanwhile, the average person is left wondering, why are my online orders delayed? Why did my ETSY store stop shipping to me? Why did my favorite product suddenly double in price? And here's another layer, the historic. Some are now framing this as a loyalty issue. Why are Democrats supporting China? Why are Republicans cheering for tariffs that hurt American businesses? This isn't helpful. This isn't red versus blue. This is a structural problem in how global trade is being regulated and weaponized. What we need isn't more tribalism. What we need is clarity, transparency, real policy making that consider consequences beyond the headlines, not just American first or China last. How about sustainability first, stability first? If the end goal is to reduce dependency on China, then where is the support for local manufacturers? Where are the grants, subsidies, or training programs to make the shift viable? Because right now, all we are doing is ripple out the foundation without building a replacement. And why I'm at it, let's talk to the everyday consumer. If you have ever bought something off Temu, AliExpress, ETSY, or any other platform with overseas links, you are part of this ecosystem. We are all are. It's easy to point fingers but harder to ask, what am I willing to pay to avoid these problems? Will you spend 30% more to support local sourcing? Would you wait longer for a domestical produce alternative? These are real questions, and they are going to define the next 5 to 10 years of commerce. And for creators, crafters, entrepreneurs watching this, my heart goes out to you. If you are affected, if you are not alone, this is the time to speak up, share your story, contact your representative, rally your customer base, because this isn't just business, it's survival. And to those celebrating this tariff blindly, understand we are cheering for. Tariffs are not free, they are taxes, and like all taxes, they trickle down. They hurt small businesses first, then consumers, then economies. So before you buy into the spin, whether it's coming from Washington, Benji, CNN, or Fox, take a breath, do your own research, look at the policy, read what foreign outlets are reporting, compare, analyze, and most importantly, don't lose sight of the human cost. Because at the end of the day, global policy isn't a game. It's not just politics, it's people. If this video resonated with you, drop a comment and share your experience. How has this impacted your business, your shopping habits, or your views on trade? Let's build a community that informs, empowers, and supports each other through this. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. New content every week, breaking it all down, honestly, fairly, and without the noise. I will see you in the next one. Stay sharp, stay informed.